the other candidates are ready to go to war. I mean, remember we went into Iraq because George Bush said there were weapons of mass destruction there, and we had to go in because they had all these weapons of mass destruction. Well, we went in there, and guess what? There were no weapons of mass destruction. That was the pretense for an invasion that we couldn't afford anyway. He sees all these, people beating the drum. We got to go to war. We got to go to war because they might have a nuclear weapon. But we don't have any evidence that they have it. And see, what I would do is, look, I disagree with Ron Paul in one respect, is that I don't think that we should let them have a nuclear weapon. But we don't need a war. This is a tiny little country. We got them totally surrounded. We got spy satellites in the air. If we have credible evidence that there's a nuclear weapon, we can take out that facility and put an end to it. We don't need a war. We don't need sanctions. That's the reality. The big threat to America is not Iran. It's Washington, D.C. It's more of the status quo. Barack Obama, the other Republican candidates are a greater threat to this country and to our liberties than Iran.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and what you say, it's got some merit. Why not do the sanctions that they're talking about where they can't do electronic transactions?
Why do we need sanctions? Remember, when we put sanctions on them, what we breed is animosity. We play right into their hands, but because we look like the bad guy, right? When we put on economic sanctions that hurt the people, it makes us the bad guy. Why do we want sanctions? Look, trade, we're not going to embargo you. We could just tell Iran, look, don't develop a nuclear weapon, and that's it. And, but Ron Paul's point is, look, the Soviet Union had thousands of them, and they actually had the ability to deliver them to American soil. They had interballistic missiles. And remember the Soviet Union, they said, Khrushchev or whatever it was, that we're going to bury the West. I mean, yet they never launched a missile. They had nuclear missiles in Cuba. 90 miles off of Florida, they had nuclear missiles. I mean, Iran's missiles are nowhere. They don't even have missiles. I mean, so we are exaggerating the threat so that we could go to fight a war that we can't even afford because we're broke. Anyway, thanks for the call. Hey, we got a great guest coming up. We're going to be talking about food in America and the way Americans eat and the problem in our diet. So stick around. We'll be right back.